This is the Mooncast. I'm over here trying to be all like I'm some talk show host, you know, which I'm not, you know. Welcome, bro. Your beard got more thick. I just noticed.
Yeah, because I didn't cut it.
Oh shit!
I usually cut it once a week. Usually I cut it once a week, and if I let it go for like a month or two, you know, I might just let it grow. I just, you know,
okay.
I just hate showering and drying it. It's just so annoying, and like when my hair is off, you know, it's just so easier, so much easier to dry. But I might just let my beard grow. And you see, like I got my hair, like I'm losing all my hair.
Yeah,
that's just genetics.
Yeah. Just do the fucking Andrew Tate, man.
yeah.
You know, the bald, but I don't think he has a beard though. Yeah, dude, some idiot in a chat that I was in saw our podcast and he was like, "Are you guys trying to be Andrew Tate?" And I forgot Tate does the thing with the glasses and the shirt off. Like I forgot about that because it didn't even cross my mind. You know, when you're like, "Hey, you want to do it shirtless?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" You know, it's kind of funny.
I've seen. Of course, I've seen Andrew Tate do topless, but so does Liver King. You know, Andrew Tate is just a guy who just became really famous with his shirt off. Doesn't mean everybody's copying him, right? You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Prince EA. I don't know if you know him.
No.
He's another big YouTuber. He has like 6 million views or whatever, and he does like more like motivational talks.
Yeah,
he's a black dude, and yeah, he does stuff with his shirt off. He actually has a podcast now with his shirt off.
There's so many with the shirt off. There's nothing new. It's absolutely nothing new. That Andrew Tate doing it is nothing new. He's just an idiot, man. You know. And why is he like what's his problem? I mean, if it's what you know, who cares, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
It seems like he has some kind of issue. It seems like Andrew Tate is his idol or I don't know, and you know.
Yeah, right. I'm like, dude, like we don't idolize people, man. Like we idolize God, and that's it.
Hey,
you know,
exactly. And there's no need to there's no need. What was I gonna say? So even if we would be copying, why not? That's what successful people do. They copy things what successful people do. So, you know, exactly. I'd say, I mean, there's no need to justify what we're doing. So we just fucking ignore what he says, right? But even if so, I say, hell yeah, we're copying him. So who gives a fuck? I mean, we're not, but so yeah, right? So and it works, right? So why shouldn't it work for us? Obviously, you know.
Exactly, man. Yeah, it's people, just brainless people, bro. The way they think, it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind sometimes, you know. But I met an American here, and they were saying that like, man, they had the same. We connected because they had the same issues with America that I was having. You know, they're like, I left, you know, the consumerism and the way people think, and I was like, I know I'm not crazy. You know, I'm glad that there's more and more people coming out. I don't know if you know about the Passport Bros movement, but it's hilarious, man. It's like a movement of guys that are getting their passports from the West and they're moving out east to find like wives and find like non-degeneracy, basically. And I find it pretty funny, man, because when I was speaking this rhetoric over 10 years ago, bro, people thought I was literally nuts. I'm telling you, bro, like it blew my mind that, you know, I'm just happy there's a movement out now that is
that's them.
Who's that? The Passport Bros? Yeah.
Right,
yeah, cool. Man.
Okay, cool. All right, got it. All
right. Yeah. So there's a lot of like hashtag Passport Bros, you know, like basically any person that's moving from the West out east, getting their passports, getting away from degeneracy in the West and trying to find like a wife that's actually feminine. That's the Passport Bros movement, basically. And it's crazy, bro. Because I literally had foreshadowing, bro. Because I was telling people about this stuff over 10 years ago. You know, I was like, yo, the West is getting like I deleted my Instagram in 2014, bro. That's how ahead of my time that I was thinking. You know, like I still don't have Instagram. I still don't have it. You know, my manager runs my TikTok account. I don't even have any of the apps on my phone. All I have is YouTube, and I just track the analytics and tell them what to push. So yeah, we can scale. But it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
I deleted mine a few times as well, my Instagram, and only reason why I kept coming back on is because of my mother, because she just likes me posting pictures to see what's going on in my life, because there's distance between us,
Yeah.
So the only reason why I have it, and I don't even post. If I post pictures, only for her. It's like I don't want people to know what's going on in my life. It's not smart. Unless you're really doing it like strategically, to for marketing, for those reasons.
Exactly.
Then it's done real professionally, right? But not for private reasons. And I do have an Instagram account. The only reason I do use it for is for information, right? But then I use more TikTok because TikTok seems not to delete the videos that Instagram and YouTube deletes, right? So
yeah, I think that's the cool thing too. Is this is why I like you a lot, because you're able to understand that you're able to digest the content in a mature manner. Because a lot of people, what they do is they go on those apps and they're literally on them 3, 4, 5 hours a day, and they're just watching junk. You're strategically following certain people. You're picking and choosing what content that you want your brain to digest.
Exactly.
And you're evolving actually from the content, because actually it's decentralized learning. You can learn a lot of stuff from these YouTubers, from these Instagrammers. There's some TikTokers too. There's some people that are actually putting out really valuable content. It's just what you're choosing to watch. Who you're choosing to follow and subscribe to. I think the problem I had was, if there's a bowl of cookies, I couldn't just take one. And I think that's what my problem. But I recognized I had the self-awareness to recognize, hey, I can't just take one cookie. I'm going to eat the whole bowl of cookies. So I'm just not going to have cookies at all. I won't even have the bowl on the table, of cookies.
Yeah.
So,
I still don't see nothing wrong with completely deleting Instagram, because there's other sources to get that information from, So generally it's probably better to not have it, because Instagram belongs to, right? So it's, like I said, I only have it for my family. But if I would have it or not, I could honestly care less. I would just have to send my mother messages more directly than her following me, and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
So
but don't you feel like sometimes like it's kind of an indirect, less human element to it, less human feel, because they're kind of indirectly following your life instead of you just hopping on the call and like just talking to them?
And that's also a discussion that I had with my mother, because she saw some pictures and she was like judging them. Those weren't any bad pictures, but it's I just I don't put those pictures up there for her to like ask me or question me about those pictures. I told her, hey, if you're gonna look at every picture that I post and have like an opinion to it, I'm gonna block you, seriously, because listen, man, because some of these pictures, like, oh man, it's I don't know which one it was, but it was silly. It was silly, man. It was silly. It was nothing bad at all. I don't know if it was me in Rio, wearing topless, wearing like the Brazilians were like a special like for the festivals, like clothes.
Yeah.
And I think I was holding a drink and something, and she was like, "Is that alcohol or something?"
What I mean? Typical moms, man. But it's good that they have that caring and nurturing, and they want you to be a certain way. It's annoying because my mom's like that too. But I actually, when I think about it and I reflect, I love it, man, because like it just means that she's just worried, she just cares.
But you don't want to stress her, right? By putting on pictures that you don't know if that's going to make them overthink and just worry too much, So but definitely, actually, exactly the way you said it. Yeah, of course you want your mother caring for you. Some people don't have any parents at all, right?
Yeah.
Gone, or never were raised with their own parents, right?
I wanted to ask you too, because how many countries have you been to? Because you seem like you've been to quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Kuwait. Like just been to like for traveling or living?
Yeah. Just in total, like, because I think I've been to like 15. But go ahead. You go first.
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
okay, the Emirates, right? So you want me to count? Okay, I'm just gonna go with the Kuwait, Dubai, right? Then
Yeah.
Spain, Portugal, um, uh, um, what's Tunisia,
Yeah.
then North Africa, right? Then well, okay, Switzerland, Austria, Croatia, Slovenia, um, uh, okay, Belgium, Holland, Great Britain,
Yeah.
Denmark. I haven't been to this Scandinavian yet, right? To the islands,
Yeah.
um, uh, Finland, Sweden, and what's the other one? Norwegian. Haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
I want to go to
Yeah.
Helsinki really bad, but
Yeah.
there's actually I don't want to go there anymore because they're very strict with guys that train. So if guys that go to look muscular, they're gonna at the airport they pull them out and they give them fines and just and because you're not allowed to take to optimize your hormones to take like any kind of like hormones or it's all for them like it's illegal. It's really illegal. So if you're
Yeah.
into like body performance and stuff like that, they'll arrest you there. Just for looking like the way basically I look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that but other than that, it seems to be a really cool country and but yeah, so going on then of course the United States, Mexico, Canada. I don't know, am I at 20 yet?
Yeah, yeah. I think if you're definitely over 10. Damn, that's a lot, man. You've basically been all through which continent haven't you been? Yeah, have you been to Asia?
No, I actually haven't been to. My brother's been to Hong Kong. I haven't.
Okay.
Well, Asia. Well, Asia is isn't Emirates part of Asia, but not the China, right?
It's more Middle East, but I mean Middle East isn't really a continent. I guess it counts as Asia.
Yeah,
Euro-Asia. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, I
nah,
mean pure
yeah,
Asia. We're talking like India, Pakistan,
yeah,
China, South
yeah,
Korea,
yeah,
Thailand, Vietnam.
yes, yeah.
These areas. I'm actually gonna potentially go at the end of this year. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 10 more than likely and go check it out for business reasons because I'm trying
Vietnam.
to buy some property. Yeah, I want to buy some
Yeah,
property.
yeah.
So
I hear a lot about Vietnam.
because
Yeah,
yeah, because it's so cheap, bro. Like you can bag one for like 50K. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
why not? Like okay, the worst case scenario, whatever. But it's a risk. Obviously, everything's a risk. But I'm okay dropping 50K there and just like as a little spot whenever I get tired of the West,
Yeah.
just go out there, rent it out, get my little rent money. It's not going to be too much of a yield, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it long term again because I think I don't know if I told you already how I'm seeing the landscape of things changing with the pensioners retiring and how I think they're going to start navigating more towards the east because the pensions aren't keeping up with the rate of inflation, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so they're suffering, man. I've met a couple pensioners here in Varna, and I was looking at 10. I was like, bro, I told you that this was going to start happening. You know what I mean? Because it's bro, your $1,500 is not going to cut it in UK or in Australia or in the US.
Yeah. So
From
so anybody with any kind of brains, it doesn't make totally sense to move to one of these countries in the east. If you get like the multiple times of your money's worth there,
yeah,
and then spending it all in a country that we're basically at now, or
yeah,
that most people live, that people can get away from that can have better lives somewhere else, and
yeah,
even I mean that's why so many people are moving from California to Lisbon because
yep,
it's the closest thing to California. You have a very similar lifestyle, and you get like 5-6 times worth your money
yep,
and in Portugal. Plus, they got the good crypto taxes and so on. So that's why I see a
yeah,
lot of people from California that use that lifestyle move to Lisbon. So
yeah.
this or
Yeah,
this.
and I heard it's going to change though. I heard they're changing the tax laws with crypto. I know it's 0% right now, or it's non-taxable. I guess like they just don't see it as a taxable thing, but they're
for
changing
second
that.
for second
Say
income,
again?
right? Not as your main income for your second income, right? If that's not
Yes, exactly.
so,
Yeah.
you saying you want to change it for your second income as well?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
changing it. I read up something online. I'm not entirely sure what because it was a little bit confusing because I'm not obviously an accountant, right? I'm not CPA, registered CPA or whatever. But what I did read was like they're going to be changing it starting 2023 for 2024 taxes, right? So
Okay.
this year it's still this year, from this year on, is going to be counted for the 2024 when you file for 2023.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm gonna read up again on it, and I'll send you some of the information and stuff. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't have the information on me right now, and I don't want to check on my phone, but yeah, but yeah, man, it might not be the best spot anymore.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Because you can live anywhere and cash out and then go and still live in any country you want to, right? So, right,
Exactly. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It'll be easier to live in the country that you can, right, that you can be tax free, get sell crypto tax free. But in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's quite interesting because I know. Anyways, man, like there's so many low tax areas. If you look at, I think it's Slovenia that does like a 20% tax, but
Mhm.
it's quite interesting how they do it, because if you make up to 100K or less, I believe the 80%. Let me see if I get this correctly, right? So the 80% of the 100K is automatically non-taxable, and you're only taxed 20% on the 20,000. And so
Mhm.
that automatically means you only get taxed 4%, right? So,
Mhm.
so if you're cashing out just 100K, or if you're offsetting your taxes with real estate, depreciation,
Mhm.
there's other different ways in which you can offset your taxes with expenses, travel expenses, all these different types of things.
Mhm.
Then yeah, you can minimize it down to that 100K where that's the actual money that you made, and then automatically 80% of that, from my understanding, is non-taxable. Guys, don't quote me on this. It's just something that I heard, But yeah, there's interesting tax strategies in that area too as well. Or you can just move to Bulgaria and simplify your life and just do 10% tax,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also then you have the cost of living so cheap, so you have more disposable income that you can utilize to leverage into the markets to increase and grow your wealth more quickly. But yeah, it's up to you how, there's different strategies, man. There's Dubai. Dubai is 0% tax as long as your money isn't coming from inland, right? So they just started now the 9% tax, I believe, this year. If your money's coming corporate tax, right? If your money's coming from inland, so if you have like a restaurant, like
Mhm. Okay.
shopping,
Yeah.
but outside of that is 0% tax
Yeah.
in Dubai, which is nice. And you can buy a lot of things. They're very forward thinking. You can buy a lot of things with crypto, man. In
You can,
Dubai.
yeah. You can.
Yeah.
You can. It's very easy. It's very easy there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll get the help uh, from the lawyers and et cetera there to do everything
Yeah.
very easily. So it's too
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, it's too easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I started cutting down my meat consumption.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been quite difficult. Today I had some oats and a banana, and then
Mhm.
for lunch I'm gonna have like some broccoli and potatoes. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just like, now I told you I eat meat like twice a week now.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm working on it gradually and stuff like that. But
What
I,
are you eating meat for protein as a protein source or
no, I've substituted meat now with fish, but I know I need to substitute it again with, just like you said, nuts and stuff like this is a lot better.
okay? I mean, what I was getting to is what I was implying is that you don't need meat to build muscle. Like, look at me,
Yeah,
I don't need
yeah,
any meat, so I don't need any animal products. Period.
yeah,
And yeah, just gonna say that because you got plenty of protein sources and nuts, seeds, uh, fibers, complex carbohydrates like oatmeal, quinoa, and sweet potatoes and so on. But oatmeal is a good protein source, and then legumes, so beans, lentils, and etc. Right,
yeah,
and being on a more I don't want to say completely vegan. I actually don't like saying vegan because it's going to be a little bit difficult to keep this like brief. But I think you should eat what makes sense, what's logical, right? So, and
yeah,
I look at what nature does, and I see what animals do. And animals, they eat meat to survive, right? They're not in the mass industry, and keeping tons of animals, and then keeping it in the bad conditions and so on, pumping it full of antibiotics and so on. That's not natural, right? Plus,
yeah,
plus animals eat the they kill and eat it raw, right?
Yeah.
So if I was to eat meat, I would eat it raw, right? So but we're not made to eat meat raw, you know. We just don't have the gut bacteria, the microbiome to digest it. We don't.
Yeah.
Um, that's why I don't. That's why we're herbivores. You know, we're not carnivores, we're not omnivores, we're herbivores. And the best example that I like to make, what makes most sense to me, is I've never seen any bear or lion stand in front of a grill or a stove or barbecue their meat. You know, they
Yeah.
don't. So
Yeah.
so why don't they eat meat? It's much more
Yeah.
nutritious to eat it raw. Why do humans eat meat? Because it's the only way they can eat meat and enjoy meat. No one really enjoys raw meat. Come on, seriously, you know.
Yeah. If you look at our teeth too, like our teeth structure,
Yeah,
um, that was another thing I was looking into too as well. Like it's not really naturally meant for meat products, especially like raw meat products, right?
yeah,
It seems like the way our teeth are structured,
yeah.
it appears to me that it makes more sense to be eating more vegetarian type of things or softer type of
It's to
products.
grind. It's to
Yeah.
grind. You got the fat teeth to grind. We don't have like the canines, you know,
Yeah.
to like predators to you know to you know bite into into a zebra's ass, right?
Yeah. No,
Rip
yeah.
it out.
Yeah. What do you think about soya? Like,
Actually, real quick, back to this because many people say, I mean, first of all, the biggest, strongest animals, elephants, giraffes, gorillas, bears. Okay, bears, they're omnivores, but the biggest, strongest animals, they're all vegans, right? Rhinos and so on. And now,
yeah,
so plant protein is more bioavailable, and it doesn't come with the acidity from meat. But the thing is that many people say that gorillas also have these canine teeth, right? Yeah, because
yeah,
nature actually gave that to them not to rip meat out, but to defend themselves because they
yeah,
have to fight, right?
yeah,
And nature does amazing things for intimidation. You see like animals like birds opening up and having all sorts of colorful like feathers and stuff to you know to intimidate and also to attract the opposite sex, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So much for that. As you said about the soy, what about it exactly?
yeah. Is it good for you as a substitute? What kind
Soy,
of nutrients?
soy is I love soy, you know, and I don't get
Yeah,
why people go on with the soy boy bullshit, you know.
yeah,
Because if you really dissect it and do your research on it, it makes so much sense to eat soy. And now I'm
yeah,
not talking about the regular soy. I'm talking about the organic, yeah, the organic soy because the regular soy is has GMOs in it, which is genetically modified, you know, right? So it's not good to eat the regular soy. It has to be organic. And the soy, right, is tofu and etc. And it's these are phytoestrogens, right? So
yeah,
phytolates, I think,
yeah.
and they're very healthy because we have all these xenoestrogens, right? Xenoestrogens from our toxic environment,
Can
and
you
these
explain xenoestrogens real quick for the audience?
exogenous. So exogenous means estrogens that come from the outside, you know,
Yeah,
into our body, and giving us way higher estrogen levels that we should have, attaching to our estrogen receptors to the cells in the body, and they
yes,
call it estrogen dominance. And estrogen
yeah,
dominance is among the leading causes of estrogen. I mean of low testosterone because high estrogen lowers testosterone, right? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's why guys, that's why bodybuilders who go off cycle and start post cycle therapy, they take anti-estrogens to to so because their body won't start producing testosterone again until they lower the estrogen, right?
yeah, yeah,
That's how your body starts because your brain signals I mean sees okay we don't have any more estrogen so we're going to start producing testosterone again. But if you take exogenous testosterone, I mean exogenous testosterone like bodybuilders inject testosterone, it takes the estrogen high with it, right? But the estrogen
yeah,
stays high even after they stop taking the testosterone, and that's why they need to block estrogen. So now we're getting all this from our environment, right? So we have high estrogens from our toxic environment, from the BPA's, from the phthalates, or however you pronounce that, but it's from our plastic bottles. It's I'm not going to name them all, but there's so many toxins in our shampoos, in our laundry detergents, in our dishwashing liquids, uh, even the blue light, right? From our cell phones, it goes into our eyes and destroys, lowers our melatonin and this lowers testosterone.
Yeah.
So
What?
we live in such an unnatural, toxic environment, and so we're getting all these xenoestrogens into our bodies, and that lowers
Yeah.
testosterone. And soy, okay, now back to the soy. Soy, these are phytoestrogens, means plant estrogens. They attach to our estrogen receptors, keeping the xenoestrogens out. So now we have our estrogen receptors attached with plant-based estrogens, which nature had it us to be, and that's why that's why many of the women in Japan have such low, like I don't think even any breast cancer rate is very low because they eat a lot of tofu, soy, and etc. Right? Because it occupies estrogen receptors, and so they don't have the toxic estrogens attached, and they don't have breast cancer, right? And this is what soy does. So it occupies your estrogen receptors, and the estrogen these plant estrogens, they create balance, so they don't give you too much, not too little estrogen, so you're perfectly balanced. That's why it's good to eat.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And also, I wanted to ask you too, because about like methods to eliminate or to minimize the risk of cancer. Like, do you know like any sort of like methods you can use in terms of nutrition or anything like that you can to help alleviate the possibilities for cancer?
To alleviate. Okay, there's a difference between
or to minimize the risk. Let's say to minimize the risk.
Because there's things you can do once you have cancer, and then things just to do preventative. Okay, the best thing to be preventative is just to eat natural foods. Honestly, that's the easiest thing.
Yeah,
Eat
sounds simple enough.
to eat the whole foods, natural foods as they come in nature, which is fruits, but everything has to be organic. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, so beans, lentils, and grains. That's all I eat. That's all you need. And now there's a list to be more specific. It's from a guy named Dr. Michael Greger. It's called Daily Dozen. You can Google it, and it brings you the things to eat and how many servings per day. Makes it very easy. Now, there's other things you can do to be real preventative, and that's for example, what I do is I every morning I drink about a shot of ginger. It's a ginger that I of course I put in a blender, and I add lemon with the skin. So it has to be organic, obviously. Otherwise, if you use the regular lemons, if you use the skin, it'll have all the pesticides in it. So it's ginger, lemon, garlic, a whole clove of garlic, and then it's a date syrup, because date syrup is crazy amount of antioxidants. I don't.
What is it called? Date syrup?
Yeah, date syrup. Like dates.
Dates. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a date today.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many dates have you had today? Oh shit, like 10.
Oh man. No. What about the this another thing I want to ask you too about these alkaline nutrition. I'm not really familiar with it. Can you explain it for me? Because I'm actually like kind of ignorant. Like I don't really know.
So you have the acidic and the alkaline, right?
Yeah.
You want to be alkaline because if you're acidic, it puts your body in the perfect environment for cancer cells to grow. So and all these acidic foods come from the processed foods, which is the McDonald's, which is all the packaged foods, which is dairy. Dairy is acidic. The internet is full of it. So and all of the natural foods are alkaline, right? So you can also Google that acidic to alkaline scale, and then you see all the foods which are acidic and all the foods that are alkaline. And alkaline are obviously all the fresh foods, fruits, vegetables, the ones I just named. And then one of my favorite methods to see what foods you're made to eat is the it's called the Krillian photography. So they take pictures with a special camera of foods, and you can see their glow, their shine, and you can see that dead foods such as meat, which is not fresh anymore, it doesn't glow, doesn't shine, and all the fruits and vegetables, they shine, but the ones that shine the most are the organic, unmodified foods, right? Fruits and vegetables. So they have so much growth. That's why we're energetic beings. We need to put live, fresh foods into our bodies, vibrational, electric foods, alive foods, right, into our body. That's why um, um, carnivores, omnivores, they're killed. It's fresh. It's fresh. The blood is warm. It's not sitting in the shelf packaged for I don't know how long. It's fresh kill. So it's still good, but also it's good for them because they have the digestive system to digest it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this photography shows us which foods are going and the high vibrational, and that's the foods that we have to eat because we're high vibrational beings. This is a little more complex, but yeah. So as far as acidic and alkaline, also goes into our what we surround ourselves. For example, all of the Wi-Fi, is our cell phones. It's called EMF. It's electromagnetic frequencies. Right? That's why I hate living in cities. I
Mhm.
like living on in the country, and where there's not many people, or everything's more natural. Because if you, I, I can get it for the next podcast we do. But
No,
there's
you can talk about it. You can talk about it right now, man. You can talk about. I'm
Well,
interested.
I have a measurement device which measures the magnetic fields, electric fields, and electromagnetic frequencies. And I can show you right now that your phone, it just goes real high. If you turn on your microwave, it goes real high.
Yeah.
If I just go outside or just open a window, you can see all of the electromagnetic frequency. It shoots up. It goes high because we have so much of these rays, going around. That shit is toxic,
Yeah.
and it calcifies our pineal gland, right,
Yeah.
as well, and so we're less intuitive. We're less to be able to operate, to judge things from our heart, from our stomach, right, and
Mhm.
that's why I have so many crazy people doing crazy shit because they're not intuitive anymore. They're just robots, and you become more of a robot, more part in the matrix the more you're in the system, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So you think 5G is going to make the situation
oh
worse?
man, I can't touch on the subject to be honest with you, man, because this is some, yeah. I got to be careful because 5G is not good at all. You had birds dropping around 5G towers, so and it does a lot of shit. It does a lot of bad things. It's very acidic. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's very
Yeah.
acidic. We have to do like we have to do like some kind of like top secret, channel or something, you
Yeah.
know.
No, we will make a channel. What we'll do is as we gain more subscribers and people are interested in us talking unfiltered, we'll create a Patreon. They can subscribe, whatever, pay a few bucks. And yeah, that's where we'll just give the sauce where we'll be able to just speak more openly, because we have to hesitate when we speak. We have to censor some things
I don't
because
want
it's
to.
YouTube.
I
I don't
don't
want to
get.
get, yeah,
I don't
exactly.
wanna,
I don't want to get deleted from the Matrix.
yeah, exactly. Disappear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Look, guys, again, I love everyone. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and everyone is amazing, and I love all human beings.
absolutely,
So
man.
just so to let you guys know,
This
this is
is
just
this.
our thoughts, our opinions from the research and experience that we've done over the course of time.
Yeah, it's critical thinking. It's having an open mind because
Yeah,
I used to eat meat. I used to be completely into the system, and
yeah,
then I just always like following things that make sense, logical things. So that made me question because I was always questioning
yeah,
things, and then if you start questioning things and doing research and not believing everything that you see on TV
yeah,
and so on, things start making a whole lot of sense, with a whole lot of things. So it's just about having an open mind, and that's why I don't judge anybody who's who's skeptical. It's a process. It takes time to realize this, but the key is not to have a biased, opinion, have an open mind, and at least be able to critical think and just be able to give that thought some just what I mean, just have an open mind and considering it at least. But there's so many ignorant people, it's unfortunate that they're just so stuck, and just say, hey, we need meat is good, the system is good, take all these meds, meds are not there meds are there to just to relieve the problems. They're not there to heal the problems. To heal your sickness, you have to go to the root. And meds don't get me wrong, I love meds because they can take pain away, which is beautiful, right? Shit, if you have pain, you want to take some morphine or Valium or whatever to lower the pain, but still, you want to treat you want to cure your disease or whatever issues you got, and not just mask it. Yeah. And
There's
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, there's a lot of because you make a great point, man, about the information that we're getting, because I think people don't realize just because you're going to an expert, you need to still fact check them. Would you agree? What do you think about these
100%,
experts?
100%. If I go to any kind of expert, I want to know where did he learn the stuff, and if he learned it in a regular university, which belongs to, we know who the university belongs to.
Yes, exactly.
This is not esoteric. This is not holistic medicine. You want to go to a what do you call these holistic practitioners? Natural remedies. You get sick from food. You can only heal yourself by eating healthy again, right? And going back to nature. Look at our ancestors. Our ancestors were okay. They had shorter lifespans, okay, because they didn't have the medical system we have today. But the thing is that just going back, okay, we didn't. Our lifespans were shorter like hundreds of years ago, but not the past 50, 70, 80 years, right? And if you look at the past 50, whatever, 100 years, people were way more natural. That's why you see, okay, actually seems like we are dying sooner, because if you look at our grandparents, I know so many grandparents of my friends are like 80, 90 years old, and they're not sick, or they have like mild problems because they eat. And if you talk to them if you listen to them what they ate and how they say all the stuff today is like so processed, there's no natural foods anymore. They say that because many used to eat meat, but they ate it like once a week, and it was a cow they had in their yard, which they butchered themselves, right? Or they got it from a butcher, which was a better butcher back then from the cows that not like in a mass industry today, but they ate natural foods. They cooked a lot, and they didn't have any of the not many of the all of the chemicals that they have today that put in the food. These to make the food taste more intense. So yeah, they used to be healthy and live longer than today's. And today's people you see people getting sick with 40, 50, 60 years. They're very sick. They seem way fucking sick sooner than they should be, right?
Yeah, and I see just so many people on meds, and man, I just don't understand it, because I'm like, guys, like, this stuff is processed pill. They're telling you to take. They're telling you this is supposed to cure your look. I don't want to get too much into mental health, but I just feel a certain way when I see that people think that these pills are going to help solve your mental health. How about, dieting correctly? Or how about going to put yourself in a different environment? How about meditating? How about surrounding yourself with people with positive energy? And I just feel like today we don't really have these. It's just strange, man. It's just strange the way that people just are programmed to think that because, the system or these doctors or these people are telling you, hey, you're supposed to take these pills, stay on your meds. This is the reason that you're insane. This is the reason that you're, maybe it's just that, there's different methods and ways of doing things, and I never understood why people just blindly trust all the time. And we live in this world of decentralized information now where things are completely different than what they used to be, man. And there's different forms and ways of gathering information, right? And also, even if you look at the mass media, they're stuck to a time slot. And so they have advertisers, right, which they have to please. So there's certain things that they can and cannot say. There's certain things that are scripted. And this is why like podcasting took off and why YouTube took off and all these different forms of education took off, was because people wanted to get the truth from people that they found more speaking informally and organically about the thing that they were talking about, with also experience, with also wealth of knowledge, with more holistic knowledge.
Mhm.
And I think that we're entering this space now, though, where it's getting really, really freaky, where no one really knows what's true anymore. Like you have to gather, whenever you hear something, you have to gather information from multiple sources now. You have to you have to do the groundwork. If you don't do the footwork, you lose, because you're just going to be. And then the suckiest part is a lot of people are so stubborn that even if whatever they believed was sought to be wrong, they won't even like acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't want to talk about the sickness so much, but even with the sickness that we've had, it just it's crazy. Now I don't want to speak too much about it, but there's just certain things where you're yelling at a grandma for not putting a mask on in the grocery store. Did you apologize? After the whole thing went away, if people just going back to their daily lives like nothing happened, they're just going back like didn't apologize. They were screaming at people outside for not putting masks on outside.
But I think we can speak more openly about it now, because you're hearing it everywhere right now, right? That people got vaxxed for what, and actually the people that are vaxxed, those are the ones still getting COVID, right? Not the ones that got natural immunity, right?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, man. It's just the problem is that people, what is Generation X? Definitely Generation.
Generation above or below us? Which one?
No, I'm saying both, X and Z. I'm just trying to figure out which one was raised. Okay, Generation Z was raised way more by the internet than the Generation X, right?
Yeah, there's the Z millennials, which is Y. Okay, and then, X is I think like 40, early 40s and above.
Yeah, they're partially, but millennials and the Z, they're completely raised by the internet, by social media. Man, just to talk about this topic real quick, man. I see guys, I see 15, 16 years old taking steroids, because they're following some idiot on social media. And okay, of course, they all they got the shit program in their head that they have to look a certain way to get women. It's understandable, but it's destroying them. And they're 15, 16 years old taking hormones. They're not even fully developed yet.
Yeah, it's the same with girls. Girls are already getting surgery at 16, 17. You see they're getting like the nose surgery, the lips done.
Social media face, right? The unfiltered face, right? This filtered face. That's why all women look the same. All these women look the same.
Yes, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
it's only going to get worse. If you look at now with AI technology, bro, the stuff AI can do, man. I know I keep speaking about AI, but it's crazy. It can literally modify your entire how you look on the internet. Completely. You want to look like this certain person, it'll just keep posting pictures that look like this certain person. It doesn't look anything like. That's why more people are going to get catfished. More people are going to fall in love with photographs on the internet.
And then, this is why I love that. I think Elon Musk. Of course, we spoke about it before, but I think I didn't think he said he's going to buy Instagram, but he said if he would own Instagram, he would ban the filters, because it's fraud. It's basically fraud. Women are. It's not them. And it would save. It would do a lot of good. Yeah.
About these, there's dudes out there's these platforms and these SaaS companies that have these texting platforms where you can go on there as a dude and have a AI girlfriend, and bro, they literally, there's a lot, they're profitable. I was looking into these companies, bro, they're profitable. They actually make profit doing this. And there's a lot of, so you can imagine how desperate, bro. I read a stat the other day. It said like 1 in every 3 men hasn't been sexually active or is sexually active. It was either hasn't, but still, that's still large. I think it's like 34, 35%.
The 2080 rule. 2080 rule. You know about the rule? 2080 rule?
No, what is it? Yeah.
Oh man, correct me if I get it wrong. I'm just gonna say how I remember it. But 20% of the guys,
yes,
Yeah, and 80% there's nothing left for them. And this is why this is you see this is why women they want alphas, right? They want the 20%, you know. Yeah, but the phrase goes a little bit better, you know. Maybe I can find it or whatever, but yeah, 20% of the guys are fucking. I think 80% of the women. Yeah,
No, this is always it's always been like that. Actually, with the stat that I read, it said that way more women. Man, I want to pull up the stat, but I don't want to like ruin the fluidity of the podcast. But
yeah,
it's quite interesting because basically the stat that I read, it basically said that twice the amount of women are sexually active than to men, and twice the amount of women are in relationships, which makes no sense because that means that those guys are like having multiple girls, and the guys at the top, you know.
I mean, yeah, it it kind of does make sense because I know, man, all there's not one single alpha like what do you call it? Top of the
Top of food chain, yeah.
food chain guys.
High value man is I guess what they're
Yeah,
calling it. Yeah.
yeah, that are really monogamists. They're all doing polygamy, right?
Yeah.
They all have multiple um holes and different area codes. Seriously,
But
they have seriously, and
it's a lot of them. The thing is too with a lot of them, some of them are upfront with their girl and saying it, and some of them are just doing it behind their back, And that's the funny thing about it, because
women are accepting it. But women are even accepting it. They don't
yeah,
care. They just want them. They just want to have a certain lifestyle.
yeah,
I paying for everything, buying them all those accessories and stuff.
yeah.
And oh man, this is another subject. I'm just gonna touch on this real quick.
No, get into it, man.
How crazy is the metaverse? How crazy is that going to get when women are going to start flexing their Gucci bags, in the metaverse, right?
Yeah,
Right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
yeah, it's going to have it's going to be an NFT, right? So
yeah,
it's original, and people will know this Gucci bag, whatever $5,000-$10,000 is worth. And the crazy part about it is that women they're going to go crazy for it because they just don't have to walk along, be seen anywhere to wear the bag.
yeah,
They'll flex with it online. Everybody, the whole world can see it.
yeah,
So people going to actually buy $5,000 for an NFT Gucci bag just to flex online.
yeah.
It's kind of cool, It's kind of cool, but it just shows how far materialism is going to go.
Oh yeah, I told people digital flex is a new flex like ages
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Digital
yeah,
flex. That's why NFTs is. That's why people are buying JPEGs on some digital country club called Board AP Yacht Club. That's why people are. Digital flex is a new flex.
yeah.
Like people don't want to get with the times, but it just is what it is. I just put up the stat now, actually, while you were talking. So it's nearly 1 in 3 young men in the U.S. report having no sex within the last year. Right? It says ages 18-24 reported no sexual activity in the past year, and this is from a Indiana University study, and this was in June 15, 2020. So this is like pretty recent. Our study adds the growing body of research that has reported on declines of sex. A research associate, boom, 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 boom. Debbie Herbenick, a professor of sexual and reproductive health of school and public health, who is also co-head, boom, boom. She says the decreases are not easily explained by a single shift, such as health status, technology, access to porn, or stress. There are likely multiple reasons for these changes in sexual expression, and we need more research to understand how these changes may be related to changes in relationships, happiness, and overall well-being. Crazy, bro.
But this is why I don't get the no fap, right? All this no fap bullshit.
Yeah.
The guys don't have girlfriends. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
And it's like with your dick. It's like use it or lose it. Seriously, like if you don't, it's healthy. It's actually healthy to fap, right? It's not healthy to do it in an addictive manner where you watching endless amounts of porn and so on. We're not able to get it up anymore with a real girl, but you have to. It's natural. It's healthy. It's actually healthy to fap. And then getting into this like all these young guys using Viagra these days.
Yes.
Women have an unrealistic sexual expectations from guys from the porn that women see. Also, they expect to perform like porn stars.
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually a good man. It's really good to talk about this too, because actually, being a black person, this is something that like because I perform really really well in bed, right? I've been told. But what I am
Yeah.
saying is, what I am saying is, a lot of black guys, there's a burden of performance off rip. You know what I mean? And not every black guy is genetically,
Equipped.
yeah, equipped, to be able to handle the expectation from the women, is what I would say. And I've talked to black guys who struggle with that, because there's a certain expectation with
Okay.
being black,
Yeah.
where you're supposed to have a certain size, and not every black guy does, but there is more than not, is what I would say, right?
Yeah.
Just genetics, just facts. There's people that have done research on it.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I didn't have to deal with these situations. But when I would talk to other black people, they were like, "Yo, this girl's expecting me to dance. I actually don't like hip hop. I listen to more classical, like nerdy black dudes,
Yeah.
like."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it sucks, because there's a whole genre.
Drones, right?
There's a whole genre for us in the porn industry. Everyone knows the BBC, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Most black guys are not Tyrones, right?
Exactly. Pookies and Ray Rays, right? Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Honestly, I feel like kind of weird, because actually, I'm like, yo, I am the typical stereotype. Like, I'm from Atlanta. I dance. I listen to hip hop. I'm genetically gifted down there, and yeah, I kind of fit the bill. But I mean, I'm also intellect too as well, But I do fit a lot of. I play basketball. I played basketball in high school, and in a little bit in college overseas. So I literally fit a little bit of all the criteria of the stereotype. But actually, a lot of black dudes aren't stereotypes, because they're just humans like everyone else.
Yeah. It's the same way the way around with Caucasian, white guys. Most of them obviously have smaller dicks than black dudes, but there's some really some really well white dudes. Kind of hard to speak about this, but me playing football, showering, everybody showers naked. You see, you just see, and of course you joke about it, but like, yeah. So
they used to call me the Black Mamba, bro. Like, when yeah, I stopped showering. I stopped showering in the public showers. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna, because they just would like stare at my day, like, yo, Jesus Christ, yo, the Black Mamba.
But it hasn't caused you any issues with women because you were too big?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, majority of the girls.
You can't go balls deep, right? You can't go balls deep, for example, right?
No, for sure. For sure. I would say 99.9% of my sexual experiences, majority of the girls can't they can't take it. And that's that's the thing that's the dark truth that people don't like to talk about. That's the dark truth. It's like, yo, I can't enjoy the same way you can.
How many inches? Straight up, how many inches?
I don't like to disclose, man. But it's gonna go on it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go. Okay, it's because you could be lying, right?
Yeah, of course, but yeah, but what's the point of lying? The thing is, any girl that's watching this,
what's the maximum of inches it can be? To have a good size.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would say actually for most girls, I would say 5 or 6 is fine. 5 or 6 inches, I think, is fine for most girls.
It's that's what I was kind of getting to. It's crazy that like 15 centimeters, so 5 inches, women are a lot happier with that. It's more about it being a little bit thicker, right, than the length.
Yes, and that's the problem I have. Mine is long and girthy.
Yeah, and if you can work with it, women don't need these huge. I mean, of course, it can be fun, but still, yeah, it's 5 inches seems to be perfect.
Yeah.
So
it's the girth. It's the girth.
Yeah. And but I've had the same issues as you have. I'm sure no one ever called me Black Mama. Well, first of all, because I'm not black, and second of all, because this is difficult to explain. But my size is I would say above average.
Yeah.
But this is a difficult subject, man.
Yeah. I want to get into again. This is
Things.
why we need a Patreon or something. You know what I mean? Like, so we can actually get off what we want to get off, but we can't really do it on YouTube, man, because they're gonna deplatform us, and when we get monetized, they'll demonetize us and all this type of stuff. Yeah, so that's the reason I can't get too much into it. But yeah, we get the idea. But yeah, I would say a lot of guys suffer from the built up expectation from women that it's not just with. The thing is also because of the hypergamy of women struggle with being able to be exposed once they're exposed to a certain level of guy, whether that's sexually, with money, with how they treat them. It's very hard for them to go back down because they're gonna think about that guy. It's called Rollo Tomasi called it an alpha widow, right?
Alpha widow.
Yeah,
okay,
alpha.
Yeah. I've heard some pretty interesting terms for these type of women as well. I can't remember right now, but they're definitely their brain is fucked. They have way higher expectations from the next guy, and who obviously can't fulfill it, right? Yeah. So these women are probably the toughest women to be with, But maybe they're the wrong woman to be with in the first place because if a woman is such an important the material things is so important to her, then she's not the first the right one to be with in the first place, right? It should be cool if a guy can afford these things, but a relationship shouldn't be about him buying her bags or giving her this. I mean, a cool, comfortable lifestyle with an alpha guy where okay, alpha guy, rich guy, of course, is nice for a woman, but the chemistry has to be right, and it shouldn't be about the relationship. Shouldn't be about materialistic things like bags and stuff. Even though, to be honest with you, I would I actually I'm not a materialistic guy at all, but I understand all of the brands Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Prada and so on in a fashionable way, because they're actually it's really interesting, and I learned this from my current girlfriend that the whole meaning of fashion, and it's not about showing off. Fashion is actually really cool, and I've met a lot of these people who are really into fashion, and they just love the fashion, and that's why it's such a big industry, and it's because some of these clothes they're so cool, and the quality is actually so much superior. So
freedom of expression.
Hey, yeah. So, but now it gets to the point. I just saw a Gucci bag, because I check Gucci, the site every once in a while, and I saw a Gucci bag for 50,000. I'm sure there's even more expensive ones, but 50,000 euros, right? And so having this Gucci bag, it opens up like doors, right? Seriously, like people know which bag you're wearing, and it opens up doors. And but I mean, what kind of doors? Okay, but it gets to the it always comes to this question: before you buy like a 50K Gucci bag, couldn't you use this money to help people? It's true, yeah. It's of course you could, but should you? I mean, they're having a lot of money. I think it does come with responsibility to do good with it, right? But if you do good, then you also should be able to award yourself, right, with things which you enjoy as well, because you can't help everyone, you can't save the world, but even by just doing good things and good deeds already makes a difference, right? And then it comes to the comparison, right? Like a poor guy giving $100 means a lot more than a rich guy giving like $100,000, right? It's just the meaning is a lot more, but right, but of course it's always good if you're wealthy and you're doing good things with your money. Then I think.
You think deeds should be promoted?
That's a good question, man. Because some people do it just because of that, right? They just do it. Just do it. That's why I hate guys filming how they giving bums money, right?
But is it bad? Because the thing is,
subscribers.
Is it bad? Is it? I come to it's very difficult, man, because imagine like people don't know some of the good stuff. Some people that maybe some people hate a lot. I don't know, Donald Trump or whatever. A lot of people don't like him. Maybe they don't know all the good philanthropic things that he's done, all the altruism that he's done. They maybe don't know that. So maybe if he filmed it, maybe then they would know. But then why do you have to film it? It's weird, because some people see like, oh, this guy's like it's BS. He just wants like marketing,
I'm going to give you an example. The two greatest football players probably of all time, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. So Messi seems to be like the fan favorite. People just love him because he's more not that big of a, he's not that big of a person showing off and celebrating his goals and so on. But he doesn't do. I don't want to say he doesn't do charity at all, but I know of Cristiano Ronaldo, he does a lot of charity. And there was a guy, a boy in a wheelchair, sitting in the sideline in the stadium, and I don't know how it came to this, but he somehow for some reason approached the guy. I don't know if the ball was kicked there. Anyway, he got to know the guy, and he paid for all of the surgeries. Just things like that. Okay, it could have been promotional, but many wealthy people do charities to promote, to make them look good. So maybe it's strategic from Ronaldo, but the fact is he does it way more than Messi, and Ronaldo isn't as much as a fan favorite as Messi is. Even though Ronaldo has many fans.
No, you're right, and it definitely can't be to promote because he's already so big. But I also think that a lot of rich people do it for tax optimization purposes.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
So there's it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. But I would say this: it's like I don't know if I got to that point where I can be more philanthropic, because I'm at the point where I'm free. I have like freedom for myself, but I'm at the point where I can really give back to other people, and I think if I got to that point, I don't know what I would do. If I would film it, if I wouldn't film it.
I think it's better to film it. Because if you do it, you might as well go ahead and show that you're doing it, but it has to come across as that this is not for promotional, and I think people will be able to feel that because you see the guys that are doing it on YouTube, and you can tell by like intuition that these guys are fucking doing it for promotional reasons. And then it's what I mean. It still has to be natural. So I think it's good that if you do it, that it's good to be known, that it will be good that people know it, because it sets a good example. But it shouldn't be done for that, right? It should be done with the purpose, of course, to do good things, right? To do good deeds.
All right, man.
And then it's always good to instead of giving away money, to create jobs, right? To create opportunities for people, like teaching a guy how to fish and not giving him fish, right?
Exactly. That's why I don't understand is, for me, I'd rather give somebody a purpose, like my employee that I hired, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather give him an opportunity to be able to escape poverty, right?
Yeah, right.
Because that's better than just giving him like a quick little, sending him some Bitcoin. That's not gonna.
He'll spend it, he'll lose it. That's why it's good to give people jobs, or like open up a business and let people work there, because then they'll have steady income. That's why it's better for the most people, if they win a lottery, to get this money like monthly, over the course of the rest of their life, than getting it all at once, because they're spending on bullshit. They have this fancy lifestyle, and how many millionaires, lottery millionaires, have you heard of that have lost it all? If they would have got money over, because they don't know, because if you get money that fast, you don't know how to deal with it. Exactly. And that's why you have all the old rich, right, that know how to deal with this richness, this wealthiness, that keep the money, right, because they know to invest it and how to invest it, and
exactly,
they're not
and how to grow it.